All right, this is show number 956, and we're going to cover the last few days in March and the first few days in April 2015. And there's an eclipse coming up. Yeah, the first is a lunar eclipse on the 4th, and this one happens to be really close to Jupiter trining Uranus. And this is a good time, you know, around this period and following it for even a whole month. Enlightenment, good time to watch Culture High or Zeitgeist. Anyway, a lot of common sense truth comes out, and it's really an amazing sort of an eclipse. It's very troublesome in the U.S. government chart, and it sets off the old Uranus-Pluto thing, huh? So I got a lot more to say about this eclipse. And, you know, an eclipse of the moon, great lady dies. Eclipse of the sun, great male man dies. So eclipse of the sun, lots of times would get the king. You know, an eclipse of the moon would get the queen. So, you know, this is in Libra at 14 degrees. And if your rising sign is 13, 14, 15 degrees of Libra, you know, you want to really be cautious for a while, a few days before this eclipse and a few days after it, because eclipses take things away. And you're looking at the moon here, and it just goes out into shadow. It kind of disappears. So eclipses are a good time to get rid of things. This is a full moon on Libra. If you wanted to get rid of your habit of eating too many chocolate sweets, you could use this eclipse to give up your bad habit of eating chocolates every night. You can use the eclipse to get rid of things that you don't want around, or clean up, make things disappear. That's the idea. Now, there's some really interesting sides to this eclipse. And because it's pretty much right on Jupiter, I mean, the eclipse is at 14 degrees, Jupiter is stationing at 12.5. So this eclipse makes an exact sextile to Jupiter. Jupiter stops on the 8th. Yeah, 4 days after the eclipse. Wow. Jupiter, the great benefic, huh? People laugh, they get optimistic. New lightning bolts of truth. Shazam! I just watched Zeitgeist or Culture High. My goodness. The internet is Uranus, by the way. And when you watch Culture High, they get into what happened to the media over the years. I can tell you, having lived through all of this, and I'm almost 75, is that the changes have been, you know, all towards the right wing. I'm a little scared for the country right now. The Senate is Republican, the House is Republican. Those guys, they're Saturn. Jupiter is the progressives, huh? And people who want to heal and expand and put people first, the crescent of people over the cross of matter. See, Saturn is just the opposite, huh? Saturn is the cross of matter. Money above, the crescent is people. So this is a very liberal, progressive time. Now, this eclipse goes off on the USA Saturn. That's an important thing. It also sets off the old Uranus square Pluto, the panicky, the interruptions. And these two planets, these squares, which started off at 10 and went to 12, and is now up to 14, up to 16, 15, 16, hitting the USA square. Saturn. Saturn's at 14 Libra. So this is an eclipse on Saturn in the USA government chart. Saturn rules the 8th house of finances. There's the mortgage and the bankers, and I'm thinking of, what is it, Brennicky, the guy used to head the Fed, you know, and he was always on the tube. Oh, the interest rate go up, go down. Everybody just, you know, was breathless to wait and see what the two sentences that he would put out would be. And then after the great crash, they finally cornered him and said, what happened here? He said, well, I don't know. We thought the CEOs would take care of their stockholders, but they didn't. And he was gone. There's a banker. short little guy, deep voice, huh? So, you know, if an eclipse happens there, maybe the Fed goes bankrupt. No, they'll just print more. What's going on? This is the money of other people, people close to us. Maybe, Israel's going bankrupt. And I don't know what it is, but it has a finance side to it. And it made me worry over the mortgages and stuff. And so when I looked to see what was going on with Jupiter, well, Jupiter is stopping in the USA fourth house on the homes, on the real estate. And so, you know, they may collapse the banks or something go on there, but they will save the homes. And that's what the great outcry is here around April 8th. And for the whole month during this kind of, the month following this eclipse is a panicky month. And there's going to be financial difficulties and in the country, in the government. Oh well. Obstacles, huh? That's what squares are. The Uranus-Pluto square for a minute. Let's talk about it. You've been living with it for a while. What you're used to now is, you know that Pluto is cops, guys in black with guns, and Hell's Angels and snipers and stuff. But Pluto is basically that policeman in black with the gun. And you know, where the first few months of this year, I think the police killed 300-400 people in this country. Yeah, police killed 1,200, 1,400 people every year here. So they're dangerous. You gotta be careful with them. But who's Uranus? Well, Uranus is squaring Pluto. And every time it goes off, you get video. Uranus is, everybody's got a cell phone that can put things on the internet. The cop shoots the homeless guy, and somebody over there was videotaping it and puts it on the internet, and wow, they're going to put video cameras on policemen? Wow. So this is a confrontation. It's an obstacle. Uranus is an obstacle to the police having full control and power. And they're getting in the way of what the police are doing. It's that Uranus-Pluto square has a lot of different sides to it. Anyway, truth and wisdom, huh? Comes up 20 days before this, 20 days after. It's a little, normal distribution curve, huh? And so here's the 8th, and comes up here a week or two before and peaks out and goes down. So more lightning bolts of truth and wisdom. Shazam, Jove says. And everybody said, oh, now we understand. That's what you're in for. And the internet is a valuable component. That's really what's saving us all in this world right now. It's the real harbinger of the age of Aquarius, the internet. Well, now you got a little background. Let's get to the work at hand. We want to go through these next 2 weekends for you so you can plan ahead a little bit, huh? And we got the pattern of planets here. And there's Saturn squaring Neptune. Wow. We're going to start judging some of these oil companies. Clergy, drugs. Oh, the drug, that video, the culture high, what they go after the drug thing on TV where take this drug and then it has a dozen side effects, and then the lawyers it's kind of clownish really, but there's a lot of that going on. Saturn squaring Neptune. Judge them. And here's Pluto squaring Uranus. Look out, more obstacles there to both sides. But here's Jupiter being nice and happy, and he's going to shed some truth and wisdom on it all. What we do is we run the moon around the edge of this chart, and as it makes angles to these various actors on the stage, it generates the mood of the times. The moon is kind of like the little pictures inside your head. You've got your own little video or movie going on, see? And the things you see and the things that you pass by your inner eye. So here it is. The moon's going around the edge. And it's in Cancer Thursday night. But there's a square to the sun and you're not feeling very ambitious. Friday morning early, here's a nice trine to Neptune. And there's music. And there's inspiration. And even more. Here's a sextile to Venus. Oh boy, Venus and Neptune in sextile. So this could be very loving and sweet and beautiful, religiously sexy. Friday morning the 27th. Look out, though. Don't be seduced too far into this, because Friday the moon's in Cancer, and when it gets to that middle of Cancer here, it hits that Pluto-Uranus square. Eek! Here's sirens. Here the power goes out. Here's the wind coming up. Here's emergencies. Here's aloneness. Happening again. It's Friday night, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. Depends on your location a little bit. It's not so hot. Sorry. Oh. And Mars is in there too. I mean, it looks like we can communicate, and there's a lot of people helping. Chiron is there. I'm putting that on charts from now on. So the helpers are communicating Saturday morning. But, Mars is here, and Mars, he makes everything a little worse after being through the Uranus-Pluto thing. So the feeling of emergency isn't going to go away, even though there's help and there's information on the middle of Saturday the 28th. You're still going to feel that sense of emergency, until basically the moon goes into Leo and you're in the Jupiter zone. Hooray! You'll feel that Saturday night. After dinner, around dinner time, the moon goes into Leo, and Jupiter is there. There's optimism, understanding, flashes of insights. Da-da-da-da, the lawyer says. Aha, the jury says, now we see it clear. Da-da-da-da, the professor says. Oh, the students say, now we understand. That's what Jupiter loves. You may find yourself, putting out some of those pearls of wisdom yourself. It's very responsible Saturday morning. Nice trine to Saturn. Trine to the sun in the middle of the day. I'm getting stuff done. I got a good plan. I'm optimistic. Lots of nice new information Sunday night. There is, however, a square to Venus late Sunday night. There's no rest. Don't expect rewards. There's no sweets or sex. You might think there is, but it's a square. There's brotherhood around. You feel that Monday morning. Yeah, here's a trine to Uranus. So Jupiter trine Uranus this whole period, Sunday, Monday, is a good time for you to, watch Culture High on YouTube. I think my shows are on YouTube also. Anyway, whoa, nice Sunday, Monday. Very nice. Good time to dump the sweets. It's bad enough the American food industry feeds you sodium chloride and calls it salt, which screws up all your mineral balances. Salt is sea salt, includes a myriad of different salts, same like your blood, but industry gives you sodium chloride. Ugh. I don't know. You can't even begin to go after sugar and sweets. They have really messed with all the sweets. And, you could stand by honey. It's probably the only sweet that has pretty much without contamination. And anyway, look out for sweets. On Monday the 30th, the moon's in Leo, and you're feeling pretty good all day, right through early Tuesday morning. Here's a nice trine to Mars. There's a lot of energy. I got stuff to do. I'm a hero. I'm going out and doing it. Monday night, Tuesday morning. No problems until the moon goes into Virgo here on Tuesday the 31st. And then late Tuesday, here's a square to Saturn and the opposition to Neptune. We got water problems. Things are leaking. I've got leaks in my house. I can't believe it. One faucet, I want to tell you about it. It comes and goes. Anyway, this is very worrisome. Makes you insecure about a lot of stuff. And difficulties and slowdowns. And this could be melting ice and flooding and stuff going on in different places too on the last day of March. April 1st. Is that April Fool's Day? I think so. Moon's still in Virgo. Not a bad day if you're over the confusion and the holdups of Tuesday. You got bogged down. Wednesday night, finally, here's sextile to Pluto. And information comes out, and here's a sextile to Venus. There's some pleasure and fun here. Opposition to Chiron late 12 o'clock 1 a.m. so the helpers aren't helping, but it's pretty sweet. And new information helped things a lot Wednesday night. Thursday the moon's still in Virgo, and not too bad. There is a few problems communicating Thursday night with Mercury here. But this is the old new moon point, huh? And Thursday evening could be a little rocky. If you've had a tough month, well, it's Thursday afternoon and evening will be kind of tough too. The last of it, of the whole new moon problem, until here's the next one. Here's the full moon, and Mercury's there making a fuss. Probabl's communicating, but Jupiter's in sextile, so it's Friday night, and it is a full moon, and it's an eclipse, and so Friday night you want security. A lot of people are going to go out and party. There's going to be noise and laugh. Here's the North Node. Everybody feels like nurturing and taking care of everybody. They got their budget. There's a nice sextile to Saturn here Friday morning, so there could be enormous celebration here. I don't know what it's all about, but common sense triumphs. You got a whole month after this full moon. Flashes of insight. I've been looking at all this, loosening the marijuana drug war, and they put it in the hands of doctors and dispensaries, and guys come in and grab all the money, and the public suffers. I went to Colorado, where it's wide open, recreational. Let capitalism work much better. Having prescriptions written by doctors, that's scary. I wouldn't even applaud dispensaries and the medical thing anymore after I saw what I did in Colorado. Just another truth. Friday night comes on, and Saturday you'll be going, oh boy, look at that. Wow. Right through Sunday morning, moon's still in Libra. It doesn't get tough till the opposition to Mars. Sunday afternoon you're ticked off at the young people. But still some spiritual, artistic stuff happens here Sunday night, the 5th. And too much noise, too much expansion here Monday morning. Everybody's going out to do stuff, so take some extra time if you're going to go somewhere. Hold that temper down there Sunday, middle of the day in the afternoon, huh?